sorry about that. We got those notifications again. Hi everyone, MJ here. It's my friend Ed with me. Today we're in Taiwan, and I'm not using a wide-angle lens because I want to get close up. We are at a factory run by my friend Tony. That's Tony on the right there. They both got red shirts, but Tony's on the right. And they both have one black sleeve because they're going to be doing casting, and they have one arm that's going to be closer to the molten metal. Let me show you what's going on over here. This is copper casting, and let me make sure my mic is set right here. This is the copper casting rig, and here, let me just do this. Yeah, hang on, sorry about that. Hang on, this, all right. There we go, that's better, okay. This is the copper casting rig, and it's a crucible that tilts forward, and when it tilts forward, the material comes out of the spout there into the mold. And this is the input where the gas jet went in, and the gas jet is now popped out. The material is, excuse me, up to temperature, and this top device here is for degassing. Here, I gotta straighten this out. This is acting weird. All right, so that's for degassing. And there are actually two types of gas that you have to worry about with copper casting. And one is oxygen and the other is hydrogen. All right, I'm adjusting my gimbal here. And so there is, this is to degas the nitrogen, and over here are pellets which degas the copper, or excuse me, which degas the oxygen out of the copper. So I want to say hi to everybody. How's it going? It is hot here, man. It's super hot today. My friend Ed. Ed is an engineer and from the States, and we're checking this out. And we're getting ready to bring the first shell molds over. He's preparing the carts. And then when the degassing operation is over, they're going to bring the shell molds over and place them on the casting cart, and then we're going to see them pour out of here. Now let me do this because we got a few minutes. We got just a few minutes. I just want to show you this. This is a beautiful mountaintop area in Xingpu in Taiwan. It's not really that far from where I live, and it's all nice and green up here. This is the outside of the factory. No wide-angle lens on today. Beautiful trees, you know, and there's a flower garden in back. The grass is kind of high, but this is all part of the factory land. And Tony said he put a new roof on recently. Now I'm using my lab mic, and I made sure that it is absolutely, for sure, plugged in. Okay, just checking. So if anyone wants to give me a signal report, that would be good. Yep, so we're good to go here. We're good to go. All right. We are simulcasting to Twitch, YouTube, and Periscope. And Periscope and YouTube comments will show up on the stream. I don't think Twitch will. All right, now they're taking the material off the top of the pot, which means they're getting ready to pour. So what I got to do is find a place that I can stand, where I can show you what's going on, but yet not be in the way. Just putting some more hot top material on. Wonder what's going on. Anyway, it just keeps the material from in the pot from cooling down. Now this is the furnace that has the shell molds in it. The shell molds are preheated, and the temperature is 600 degrees Celsius. Hey Toshi, welcome from Los Angeles. Welcome to Taiwan. Hope we don't have too much wind noise. We got a bunch of fans behind us. So this is Tony's main man here. That's Tony over here on the left. Tony Lin, he's a legend in Taiwan. He's the one that pioneered investment casting of bicycle parts years ago at a company called Everest, and they're now doing mostly aerospace. So, checking things out, getting ready to pour. They took the rig out. There should be a title that explains what's going on. We're doing copper casting today. They're taking off the dross. That's dross. Dross, yeah. Exactly. They're taking off the dross, and he just poured in a cup of those pellets, which is the chemical degasser for oxygen. It means they're getting really, really close to pour time here. All right, so it's a beautiful day here in Taiwan. No rain, no nothing, but it's hot here in the factory, and I don't have my hat on, obviously, but I want to say hi to everybody. And it looks to me like it's going to be about another 5 minutes, maybe. He's checking the furnace again, and they put the insulating materials back on the pour spout and on the top of the pot. So generally what they do, yeah, I have. Captain, how you doing? I was here a long time ago, and I did a scope on Periscope, and all I got was ridiculous, stereotypical, you know, factory comments from, forget it. Anyway, so yeah. Of course, I have the option of deleting this later if I want to, too. So it doesn't matter. Yes, it is. And this is Xinpu. We're about 350 meters or so, 300 meters or so above sea level up here. They got tea groves on the other side of this mountain. So anyway, let me show you a little closer. I can get a little closer. It's not too hot. A lot of fan noise, but this is the rig here, and you see that it pivots on these hinges. So the whole thing is gonna pivot. It's gonna pour out that hole. That's the spout there, the spigot. And oh, well, he's telling me to move out of the way. 对不起，我听不见。Oh, thanks. Thanks, Toshi. I didn't say a whole lot. Mr. Young's telling me to move out of the way, and I didn't hear him. So, okay, we're gonna stand over here. So I just don't want to block him. You know, this cart here, designed and built by Tony, it's got thousands of pores, you know, on its history, but it's covered with sand, refractory sand, and they put the shell molds on it, and the sand stabilizes it so it doesn't move, because as you know, copper is really heavy, and you know, who of us has not knocked over a glass pouring water in vigorously, right? So you can imagine if you got a mold and you're pouring heavy copper into it, the tendency is for it to knock over. All right, here you go. I'll give you an overview, and then after they do a couple, I'll give you a close-up. Oh. So they put the O2 degasser in, and this is the scummy dross that comes up to the top of the surface, and that's material that you want to get off. Whenever you're refining metal, you know, you burn it, and the impurities come to the top. And you know, that's an ancient technique. Sorry, I'm sorry. There's smoke in the air here. And there you go. And so these days they have chemical aids, and they drop the chemicals in and stir it, and the chemicals bind with the impurities and they rise to the top. So that way you get a more pure material. But not only that, when you're pouring a casting, you don't want air because air means pinholes, and it means that the casting will be porous and it'll be weaker, like cottage cheese sometimes we call it. So they're just tweaking it. Mr. Jan's kind of standing in the way there, but that's okay. They're tweaking some more materials in there to purify it. It's hot, man. There you go. Hey Mike, how are you? Nice to have you with us. We got no viewers on Twitch. I imagine we have some viewers on Periscope, but nobody has commented so far that we can tell. We had trouble with our Periscope comments, but we fixed them the other day, so we should be good to go. All right. They're just clearing off the last little bit of waste material. Pouring a little more of that in. Now Tony, that's the gentleman on the right with the glasses, Tony Lin, is famous all over Taiwan. He is an expert metallurgist, mechanical engineer, built the factory here from the ground up. He's not one of the guys that inherited this business like a lot of people do, so. Okay, well thank you. Siri, thank you very much. They're pouring copper and they're making a terminal. Thanks. They're making a terminal for the Taiwan Power Company out of a special copper alloy. Now, what I was starting to say was, Tony is an expert metallurgist, and I'm going to tell you right now, he's using a thermal imager to measure the temperature of the material. I don't know how many people are working here today, but not too many. This is a small crew today because he's not doing a lot of casting. Just doing a small batch here. So, oh, wouldn't have to be too close. Okay, here we go. Now here's what's going to happen. Let me get out of the way. Okay, this gentleman's getting up on this barrel so he can see better. Okay, they just took a shell mold out, and here you go. Here goes the copper into the mold. And stand back, guys, stand back. There you go. It's going into the pour cup on the left. It will fill the shell and then come up to the second part of the mold here on the right, which is called a header. When the mold is completely full, the pour cup will be full and the header will be full, because you want a large thermal mass over the parts, and that way you control the shrinkage, because as you know, metal and almost any substance shrinks when it cools. So you're pouring the metal hot. So when it shrinks, you want the shrinkage in the header and not in the parts. Thanks. Let me see what I can do here. Camera enhance. Exposure. Let me do this. No, this is investment casting. This is investment casting. I'm going to do a 3-step decrease. There you go. This is investment casting. This is not sand casting. Sand casting, the mold would actually be made out of sand. This is a type of sand, but it's a shell mold that was created by dipping a wax mold into a slurry and gluing the sand on it and then melting the wax out. Now here you go. Let me tell you, you can feel the heat from here. You can really feel the heat from here. Wow. And you see how red hot. I mean, even the first one that he poured. And you'll notice on that header section, you see that on the left, he's pouring into the pour cup, but the section on the right, he just put a piece of thermal material on the top. Well, you can't go too fast because you have to let the air come out. And it's a thick material. I mean, it's a heavy, it's metal. It's a heavy, thick material. But he put a piece of this insulating material on top. which in Chinese, they call it like a heat resist cotton. I don't know copper's melting point, but this copper right here is over 1,000 degrees C right now. So he's putting that material on the top, right there, you know, on the top of the header, and that's called hot topping. And what that does is it slows down the cooling process so you can control it better. In this particular type of mold, this particular part, they have found that they need a slower cooling, and that ensures a higher integrity part, because obviously it forms a type of crystal, basically. When the material solidifies, when it freezes, there is a, oh, I'm featured? You mean on Periscope? Wow, that's interesting. Well, that's cool. Wasn't expecting that. All right, here we go. Exactly. You're exactly right, because the thermal shock would be fantastic. And the other thing too, Captain, is you know, if you poured it into a cold mold, it would, just tell us to get out of the way. If you put it into a cold mold, it would freeze the metal. Okay, so now he's going by me. Holy cow. Oh, excellent. Wow, that's hot. You feel that, Ed? Holy cow, that is hot, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. I was getting ready to jump, like, okay, so here we go. Again. Whoa, that went all over the floor. Yeah, you're gonna wish you didn't.
Yes, for sure.
Ed, what do you think of this?
Awesome.
It's incredible, huh?
Incredible. You took the word out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Taiwanese are rich, man. You know that. Yeah,
This is an experience not many people get to see.
No, that's true. That's true. Which is, you know, one reason I wanted to show this on live stream. I'm streaming to 3 different platforms. My friend Ed, next to me, is a friend of mine here. He's an expat. He's married to a Taiwanese lady and living in Taiwan, enjoying the good life. And he's a building maintenance engineer, and he knows all about you know, HVAC, plumbing, heating, electricity. And like, for example, he would be really good at a factory like this for keeping it maintained, but he's never actually seen this kind of casting before, and not too many people have. I don't know how you can say there's no safety at all. What do you mean there's no safety at all? Yep, there it is. You see anybody get hurt? Nope. Let me show you something. I'm wearing sandals, okay? I'm wearing sandals. And so is Ed. Well, there's no way that you can prevent the liquid from falling, so you make sure that it falls somewhere where it doesn't do any damage.
And it don't fall on you.
Yeah, and don't fall on you. And they've been doing this. I mean, this isn't their first rodeo. They've been doing this for a long, long time. All right, so Tony is doing the first section of the clean out here to the port. All right. So what I want to show you is, gosh, it's so hot. These are the, okay, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you stop watching and I'll just block you later, and then you won't have to worry about seeing any more of my content. These are the parts that they poured earlier today, the same parts. These are terminals for the Taiwan Power Company, and this is what they look like. Ladies and gentlemen, I have worked in foundries, and I've been in foundries all over the United States, all over Asia, and many countries, and it is dangerous work. It doesn't matter where you are. In Thailand, I've seen guys pour molten iron in plastic sandals. Yeah, but I know where to stand, I know what I'm doing, and so I knew I wasn't going to be in any danger with me wearing sandals. That's what I did. But look how hot these things are. These are just crazy. And I think I'll put the camera back onto auto exposure. So I'll reset this. So, yep. I don't think I have any finished terminals, but I can ask Tony. I'll ask him in English so you guys can read. This is what they look like from the thing. So this is that's the parts that what they look like in the show modes. You know, you really can't tell what the part looks like because it's covered with the investment material, but it sure looks a lot cooler than this. Tony, do you have one finished part of this piece is it could I look at it or is it somewhere else?
Okay.
Just 因为我的客人问我就是
在2楼。
So, oh, okay. Oh, I see. It's upstairs. Okay. So maybe we can't get it.
下来了。我也红了。
Okay. Yeah. 对。Yeah. So I reset the exposure, but yeah. Tony's saying over here is not too hot. Oh my goodness! Just walking past this is like ready to melt my camera. Tony's saying back here it's not so hot because we're next to the fans. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So there it is. That's the main part of the factory. This is a non-ferrous factory. They do not pour steel, iron, or other ferrous materials. They only do non-ferrous. They do copper and aluminum, and that's the aluminum stock over there. And the aluminum side is on the left. They have an aluminum furnace over there. But this is all for the copper that we just watched today. So, all right, that about wraps it up. Thanks so much for joining, and we'll see you guys later. You take care. Thanks so much for watching Taiwan Live TV.